It's that time of the day, ladies and gentlemen, where a chubby fat kid from Australia goes on the interwebs of YouTube and talks about some Spider-Man news. And today, we've actually got something really important, because we're going to be talking about Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, which we really haven't had a lot of information about. It's going to be really interesting how they go about this, because I think everyone and their dad, aka me and my retarded dog just sitting over there, we honestly think, with our opinions, is most likely by the end of this movie, he will probably get the black symbiote suit maybe, and it will lead on to the Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars movie. Again, in the Secret Wars comics, I believe he does wear it for the most part, so you'd assume he'd probably get it at maybe the end of this one. I'm not exactly too sure. There's been a lot of theories, rumors, and speculation on how this movie is going to go. Some people believe, like myself, it's going to be a more grounded take with the Kingpin, while other people believe, well, Sony loves their money more than a stripper who works 7 nights a week, so why wouldn't they go back to doing the same multiverse thing that they did in the last movie that made them $1.9 billion, and the same multiverse thing they kind of did this year with Across the Spider-Verse, which also made them above 500 million. That's true. It could very well happen. But this recent report might suggest something different. It is being said that the Scorpion is currently rumored to return in Spider-Man 4. According to insider MTTSH, the Scorpion is rumored to return in Marvel's upcoming Spider-Man 4. Actor Michael Mando previously portrayed Mac Gargan in Spider-Man Homecoming, and fans have been waiting for the villain's return since the 2017 film. It's still unclear if Mando will return for a supporting role or being the primary antagonist role. I think this is pretty obvious. I would assume this is supporting. I mean, can the Scorpion be a main villain in a movie, right? Possibly. But in a movie that takes place after Spider-Man No Way Home, which had 5 of the biggest Spider-Man villains of all time, and definitely the 2 biggest in Dr. Octopus and, you know, Green Goblin, can you go from all of that to the Scorpion as your main villain in a movie? I'm really not too sure. I think the way they'll probably handle this is kind of something that I pitched in a how I would make Spider-Man 4 video, Marvel Spider-Man 4. If you guys would like to go and check that out, it's like literally the channel intro of my channel. If not, I might even play a little clip here. New character who we don't actually see in any of the Spider-Man movies thus far, who he actually hires, is the Black Cat. Now, Black Cat has never been used in any of the Spider-Man movies so far, which is actually really weird. And I think she would be an awesome character to actually add to this movie, as not only would she be kind of trying to, I think she'd be of course working for Kingpin, but also not at the same time. He would hire her to go and of course, I think, stop Spider-Man from doing everything that he's doing. But in fact, it's actually being led that Black Cat is actually working for him for her own purposes. And again, I think it will show very, very quick that she doesn't really have any care to really stop Spider-Man. She just kind of wants to play with him, which is what her nature is, of course, in the comics and in the Spider-Man video game. But yeah, obviously, I do think pretty much what will most likely happen is that the Scorpion will, I assume, be hired by the Kingpin, where he'll be going out, you know, probably trying to defeat the Spider, maybe distract Spider-Man, all of this type of stuff. I'm not exactly too sure. I think the rumors around is that, in my opinion, this is what, when I say rumors, I say me here, my fat ass, that I said in the, again, how I would make Marvel Spider-Man 4 video is not only do I think they will hire, or Kingpin will hire the Scorpion, but I also think he will hire Black Cat. And of course, Black Cat adds such a huge dynamic, and I think that would be so awesome if Black Cat was in this movie, just based on the fact that this Peter Parker is at the lowest Peter Parker has ever been in the movies, I believe, and we've literally seen Peter Parker want to basically jump off the tallest building and die in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. this Peter Parker will probably be even more sad than this one, especially after he lost his Aunt May, he lost his really kind of like a father figure in Happy Hogan. In previous movie, he lost the other father figure in Tony Stark. And then, of course, he's now lost all of his best mates and his best friends and people that knew him from school. None of them know him anymore. He's lost all of them because obviously Doctor Strange cast a spell that means no one knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and no one even remembers really who Peter Parker is. So this is really awesome, because if you included Black Cat, well, Black Cat loves to play with Peter's emotions, and we know what she does best. She is, she will break my boy's heart harder than Zendaya will probably break his heart, especially with that new movie being released where she has a dead set threesome and she's like a tennis player. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but anyway, yeah, I think that would be really cool. Black Cat would obviously embrace him wanting to be Spider-Man even more and forgetting the Peter Parker lifestyle, which I think is what this Spider-Man 4 will be about. And I think not only will Black Cat be there, but then obviously the Scorpion will be there. I don't expect the Scorpion to be that big of a villain. I just think Black Cat will probably be the main focus that Kingpin will hire, and Black Cat will kind of be like the anti-hero. Kingpin will, of course, be the big bad villain. I think that Spider-Man will be stopping it, trying to stop his operations. Scorpion, to me, I like the Scorpion, but I don't know if there's that much behind his character. That is just my opinion. I do like Mac Gargan. I mean, he's really, really good in Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4. He's definitely a very nice villain there, but he gets really outshone by, like, most of the other villains, like Mr. Negative, Dr. Octopus in that game. Pretty much nearly every villain but Rhino. Fucking hell, Rhino sucks. Is that just me, or is Rhino such a boring villain, man, especially in that game? But yeah, Scorpion is an interesting one. I think, yes, he will be in this movie. I'm one who likes to believe that Sony will know that. Even though making a multiverse movie and all this stuff and bringing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back would make a whole lot of money, they've already done that idea. And also, I still think having a movie like about, you know, the Kingpin and controlling turf in New York and hiring Black Cat and maybe the Scorpion to take out Peter and how the dynamic relationships go with them would be a very interesting and awesome plot that's going to make a ton of money anyway. Especially if you hire some absolute baddie to play Black Cat. Every man is going to be shooting white mayonnaise on their screen, you know what I mean? Like, Sydney Sweeney would have been perfect, but we know she's playing Julia Carpenter in Madam Web movie. Come to think of it, who else would be good to play Black Cat? Who's a really awesome female actress that not only can act, but also has really big fucking boobs? Jesus Christ. I get cancelled for that. You know what? I've lived a good life. That's a good thing to get cancelled by. I don't even give a fuck. It was so worth it. Give me Sydney Sweeney again. Who cares? Give me Sydney Sweeney in this movie and as Madam Web. That's it. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys think we should, of course, see the Scorpion in this movie? I might even play some of the video of my fan fiction type thing at the end of this video, so you guys just get more of where I'm coming from here with how I think the Scorpion and Black Cat should operate in this movie. As Kingpin begins to get more frustrated with the Spider-Man, he tries and figures out some ideas onto how to actually stop them. A couple ideas he has is actually to hire a couple of what he likes to call bounty hunters and people who will squash the Spider and deal with him. He goes out and hires a bunch of people that we've previously seen in the MCU before, like the Scorpion, who we saw make a cameo in the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie at the end, which we see him in jail. I envision that he, of course, is going to get out of jail. I assume he will have just been caught for some petty theft or something like that. And then again, we will see him, I think, eventually become the Scorpion. And of course, I think Kingpin really kind of hire him to do it. Also, the Shocker, who was in Spider-Man Homecoming and worked for the Vulture, while also hiring Miles Morales' uncle, which we do see in Spider-Man Homecoming as well. A new character who we don't actually see in any of the Spider-Man movies thus far, who he actually hires, is the Black Cat. Now, Black Cat has never been used in any of the Spider-Man movie so far, which is actually really weird. And I think she would be an awesome character to actually add to this movie, as not only would she be kind of trying to, I think she'd be of course working for Kingpin, but also not at the same time. He would hire her to go and of course, I think, stop Spider-Man from doing everything that he's doing, but in fact it's actually being led that Black Cat is actually working for him for her own purposes. And again, I think it will show very, very quick that she doesn't really have any care to really stop Spider-Man. She just kind of wants to play with him, which is what her nature is, of course, in the comics and in the Spider-Man video game. And I think we'll really see a romantic chemistry kind of build up with this. I think that she will eventually approach Peter, cause him some trouble by, I think, robbing some stores and doing all that stuff for Kingpin, and then Spider-Man, of course, has to try and stop her, and then I think she will, again, make it a very difficult process for Peter, where she will not only evade him, but actually flirt with him, and I think definitely get the attention of Peter Parker. But as Peter spends more and more time with Black Cat, he starts to forget about all his Peter Parker problems, and just in his mind is really focusing on being Spider-Man, because that's what eventually makes him happy. He doesn't have to think about, you know, being a delivery driver and all of this type of stuff while he is Spider-Man, and that's why he likes to do it. And this Black Cat is a distraction, not only romantically for him, but something that actually gets him more social, which he hasn't really had the opportunity to do. In doing this, he forgets about other Peter Parker stuff, like the date he did agree on with Gwen Stacy earlier. And again, I do vision him going to college and talking to Gwen, and her basically saying to him, where were you and why you didn't show up, and Peter actually remembering all about it, and then basically saying he was busy or he got injured when he was actually hanging out with Black Cat. But yeah, hopefully you guys stuck through that. I really like it. It was recorded with a shitter camera and shitter setup, I don't know. Anyway, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.